Guys.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our team call tonight. It's Monday, 5/18. It is about 8 weeks into lockdown, and some of us might be feeling like we're ready to break out, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that in a little while. And I just wanted to share, we've got a different speaker on tonight. She says her name is Kathy on her screen, but I know it's Ariana Munker. And I want to introduce you to Ariana Munker because I've known her for a really long time. She is a superstar on our team. She's been doing this for a very long time. An amazing leader, and this team would not be the same without her. So I'm going to let you go ahead, Ariana, and share all the gold you're going to share for us tonight.
Well, it is such a pleasure to be here tonight to kind of serve all of you, because really this call is for you. All the leaders, all of the new up-and-coming leaders, they have an opportunity to come onto this call, share some wisdom, ask some questions, be inspired. And tonight I think we're going to do something a little different. So we're going to play a little game. And each one of you are going to have an opportunity to share. It's not going to be a long game or anything. It's not going to be painful, but it's called the Rose and Thorn. And so what that really means is, now I'll set the example. I'll be the first one to go. So the thorn will be for everyone, the same thorn. It will be kind of this quarantine, these new days that we've been living under since March, really. It's been a while. And it gives us all an opportunity to look at, wow, that's our thorn, right? It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge to be in that space where you've been confined, you've been restricted, you've been told how you can move about, right? So everybody's having their responses to it, and their lives are looking a certain way based on that. But there's also, I'm going to assert, and I know this is true for each and every one of you, there have been roses out of the thorns that you've been experiencing. You know, things that you would have never guessed would have been a breakthrough for you in your life based on, you know, having these kind of restrictions, these new sets of ways of being like laid upon you. And you know what? Business has been impacted. And we have roses with business. We have roses in our lives together with our families. You know, we've had roses with our own personal experience. So I'm going to invite each and every one of you just to consider now for the next few minutes. I'll start with my rose based on the quarantine. And I will share with you, everybody, that this quarantine hasn't been that different based on like the way I've lived my life. I mean, having a home-based business, I get to like do my hours the way I want to do them. And I get to, you know, choose when I go out. And if I don't want to be stuck in traffic, I don't have to be. And if I want to make sure that it's on a day, you know, that I have very little to do, where I meet my potential new people, I get to do that. So I get to do Zoom even, right? And we've all become real experts on Zoom now too. But I want to also say that there's been a self-care aspect that I saw probably wasn't in my everyday attitude about life. Like I would always get things done and I would always go, well, what do I have to do next? But I kind of avoided, like, what would it take for me to have that peace and that kind of balance and that tranquility in my everyday to make it possible for me to do the things like, you know, do my power hour. We're going to be talking to someone who did one today, and I want to hear her results. Yeah, so the power hours are important, but they're just an hour. It's just 60 minutes, right? And so if you can do the self-care that you need to do for yourself during the day, and everybody's going to have their different rows, but for me, self-care is all about my garden. It's like stepping out there, and I go barefoot. And sometimes, you know, it's a good thing that I don't have neighbors that can see me because I'm not, you know, wearing a lot either. You know, I wear my little nightgown. I'm just out there with my hands in the dirt and I'm, you know, my feet in the dirt. And I have been really in a form of kind of like morning ecstasy around it because I get to look forward. It gets me up in the morning too. I get to go outside, look at what my plants are doing, look at the creatures. I had a sweet little rose happen on anniversary this Saturday. We had 22 years on Saturday that we celebrated. And we went on the deck and we were having a little breakfast in our little sweet little upper deck. And I have little pots filled with lilies, water lilies. And basically they've been just for the water lilies and the mosquitoes. You know, that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years with those pots. But I can't break my, you know, I can't throw them away because they give me a lot of joy. Well, that one morning on Saturday, I went over to pour some water into the pot because it was a little low. And suddenly this little guy just like went pop right out of under from the lily pad, like a classic, you know, Disney moment. And it was a little tree frog, I found out later, a Baja tree frog. And he was just like looking at me like this. He goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay. You're okay. We're okay." But it was just one of those moments that I got to have a rose, because nature and the universe and God knows that's what I love. That's what I thrive on. And we've always had special moments on our anniversary day. We've had bees come and swarm in our house, and like for a good reason. We had a gorgeous bunch of roses just bloom, 16 roses on that day, right? So that was my rose for that day. It was the universe letting me know life is good, life is okay, and we're just moving forward. So I'm going to nominate Lynn Lapp. You can share next.
Thank you, Ariana. Yeah, I was thinking about this a little bit, and the quarantine, you're right. I mean, we work from home. Most of us are home during the day. Some of you are working, but nothing has changed that much for me, except now I'm so blessed and grateful because my two grown kids get to be home with us. And as I heard my son say today, he said, "I haven't been home this long for 6 years now," because he goes and does a show, you know, in New York or wherever it might be, or he goes to London, where he was just at. And so he doesn't come home very often, but he pops in every once in a while and then he goes out again. So he's been here quite some time, and my daughter too, but it's been wonderful because we're playing games, we're doing puzzles, we're board games, as well as ping pong and badminton and stuff outside, and going on walks and just having a really fun time. And, you know, we wouldn't have seen this time if this had not happened in our lives, because, you know, they were going down their path. So it's been great, actually. I mean, we're all healthy, and so I'm kind of loving it, actually. So, all right, let's see. I'll pass it on to Teresa.
Get unmuted here. Yeah, quarantine and all this has brought some thorns for sure. Having two little boys, well, one is now 1 year old and the other's 3, so keeping me busy, and a husband who finally finished his degree during all this. So that was one of the thorns. Is I know he didn't get the chance to walk and do all the graduation, but we did get to have some family over and have kind of a socially distant little party for him and just enjoy time being together. I think that's another thorn, that just missing that social interaction and people and family and seeing our boys. I mean, we've done a lot of video chats and Marco Polos and, you know, Zoom calls with family just to keep in touch with people. But, you know, it's hard to see your little ones. And I mean, this is a 1 and 3 year old, and they still like light up so much when they see Papa Tim and Grandma and, you know, all these people that they're missing seeing. But it definitely has come with many roses. One of them being that we've been so active together, consistently, me getting in workouts, the boys joining us and just having fun, sharing that out on social media. Another rose would be, you know, the fact that we are all healthy. I'm so grateful for the nutrition that we have and we can put in our bodies every single day, that the kids, they love, you know, isogenics. We have like brand awareness in our house, because I can just hold up like an Isogenics logo and my 3-year-old's like, Isogenics. I'm like, yes, here you go. And he does a little dance for his Isa guys. He starts singing for them. But so, and then I hear you, Ariana, with getting out and doing yard work. Oh, I love it. It's one of those, you know, seeing you can take something that you can be so chaotic and then look back and be like, look, I put, you know, an hour, 2 hours of my time into, you know, helping the land and, you know, cultivating things here and there, and then seeing, you know, the fruits of your labor is a very rewarding thing. So we've enjoyed that. And I think just slowing down as a family, you know, we do a lot. We are constantly going places with church activities, with, you know, family activities, and, you know, then isogenic stuff. It's really makes you pause and look at, you know, how can I get creative with time, with, you know, doing different things, and still getting results, and still seeing, you know, we can spend time together as a family, we can still do our business, we can still do so much, even given, you know, restrictive environment now. So yeah, it's the, you know, the rose and the thorns is a great way to look at all this. I do see that. So let me, I can see who to nominate. Let's see if Yvonne, are you able to share with us? Surprise.
As soon as I unmute myself. Well, this has been roses and thorns. Because I'm a high risk, nobody comes near me. So I'm very isolated. But on the opposite side of that, my neighbors will call and say, okay, haven't seen you outside for 2 days now. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I'm going to the store later. Can I pick you up something? Yeah, I could use a couple items, and so they'll pick them up. The outreach has been wonderful. So thankful for Zoom, for church online. You know, Sunday mornings I start at 7 and I'm done at noon. I go to 5 different pastors, you know, that normally I would go to my church and might watch one other pastor. So I'm getting all these pastors in now, doing different webinars that I wouldn't have done because I'd be out and about and doing speaking engagements and everything else. So yeah, roses and thorns. I'm ready to get back out in circulation like I'm sure everybody else is. But it's been a blessing with the people that have cared and showed that they've cared, and the phone calls and little email messages I get. So it's kept me encouraged, and being able to be on calls like this one where I can see faces. And then I had a real blessing one day last week. My neighbor on one side 2 weeks ago had invited her daughter over to her porch for her daughter's birthday. And I thought, wait a minute, I've got a porch. I've got my chair 6 feet apart. I invited my friend Judy over and we had lunch on my porch. And it was like, wait, this is a real person opposite me that I can talk to. It was really special. So yeah, roses and thorns. I'm gonna pass this off to Aimee.
Okay, yeah. So like you guys, you know, the quarantine really has made us stay indoors. I am so blessed because of the quarantine that my, like, who was it? Was it Lynn? My 2 sons are home. And so for them to say, hey, mom, dad, did you want to go run and exercise outdoors? And I'm like, yes, they want to involve us. So that's kind of like a thrill. So we've been doing that. I think it's also, you know, it made me aware of the things that I have been doing and reevaluating. So for instance, like even, you know, attending networking groups, it's like, okay, so now I am able to evaluate, oh, was this really important, etc. And like what Yvonne was saying, oh, thank goodness for Zoom, because now we, you know, I still attend networking events, but it's also like, it's virtual. So it's not just like local, it's also, you know, the members around. So the networking groups have expanded as well. I would say that I got the gift of time, because again, from networking groups, like you know, you travel, you commute, now you don't, and so that time you can use for other things. So yeah, so those are some of the things that have come up.
And Aimee, we have time for 2 1-minute shares. So you pick the next person and for 1 minute, and then one more person after that for 1 minute.
Okay, I choose Marcia.
Well, I feel really blessed because, our governor's opening stuff up. And so we've been volunteering at a place called Kids Meals. So they serve 7,000 meals to children. And so what we do there is we pack the lunches into bags. And so that's really a blessing. And we've already been to 2 restaurants, the tables are like so far apart, and all the staff are wearing gloves and masks. And we went somewhere tonight and we saw some people from our church, and then our waitress came and told us, your meal's been taken care of. So how about that? I mean, these aren't our best friends, but we've both served on committees with them and known them forever. And their oldest daughter's the same age as our son. And so that was pretty special. Anyway, 1 minute. I don't know who's played before, so I don't know who to pick. I don't know who spoke.
Okay, one last person. Who wants to really, really share their rose
I
thorn?
do.
Okay, Kathy.
I just returned from a plane trip, and I've been sequestered at home, and I had to put off a trip to see a friend, and it was a really important trip for me. And I finally decided to go, and there were so few people on the plane that it was really a no risk situation, right? I was in the 9th row and there were 6 people ahead of me. That's how there was so few people on the plane. And so the silver lining or the rose is that it's safer to travel by airplane. I highly recommend it. And the other thing is, the networking, the one-on-ones, because I've made an attempt to do at least 2 one-on-ones with people up until the quarantine started. And now they're over Zoom. And the rose with that is that there's no distractions. I can spend time really finding out about the person that I'm doing a one-on-one with, and they really want to know what I do. And so it's just been really lovely. I feel like I'm making terrific new friends over Zoom.
Wow. Well, everybody has had such little gems that you've shared with us today, and all of them relate to our lives either directly or indirectly, and they can all relate to how we talk to people around Isogenics too. There's these beautiful breakthroughs, I think, that we're all having on how to reinvent relating to others. So now what we wanted to talk about next, we have a couple of exciting things. We're going to do an 11-day challenge. So I'd like either Madeline or Lynn, you can both talk about it. You have about 3 minutes to share about it, 4 minutes at tops if you get really excited. So please share with us, what is this 11-day challenge?
I'll start. You want to go, Madeline, or you want me?
No, I said, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to do an 11-day challenge, like Ariana said, and we're going to call it a Breakout Challenge. I was thinking about it today because we just came up with it this morning. I was thinking maybe a breakthrough challenge might be better, but I'll be creating, a little flyer for everybody. And basically we want to look at breaking out of old habits. Okay. We're following the Forever Pack, but right now we're looking at an 11-day system. So you can do what you want. You can get some cleanse if you want. You can just follow through with the Forever Pack. So it's your decision, but basically this 11 days is a time for us to focus on what we want to change in our health. For me, it might be, or it is, I want to make sure I'm doing some kind of resistant exercise every single day for a half hour. I'm walking, you know, the dog, but I want to add that to my regime and just consistently do it. And of course, 1 or 2 shakes a day consistently. But, you know, think of yourself and what things in your health can you maybe change for the better, you know? And so that's what our 11-day challenge is going to be about. And I invite you guys to invite your new people, you know, that are just starting to join us, and to also have them invite 2 friends that might want to do this, you know, with us. So, you know, we've all been in quarantine. I'm guilty too of probably eating a few more things than I should be eating, but, you know, it's a great time before summer to jump back in and, you know, and make some changes for the better for us. So anything you want to add, Madeline?
Yeah, think of this as just a time to reset yourself. Like she said, you know, we've all gotten into some bad habits, or maybe just in a rut. And like I said, 8 weeks into being locked down, we're all looking for change. So how can we change our health for the better for these next 11 days? So what could you do? Could it be like what Lynn is talking about? Adding some extra exercise, maybe doing 2 shakes a day. I want to do a cleanse day in there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So just think about what that extra thing could be for you, just to make yourself feel that much better, right? We know the better nutrition, the better we feel, it's going to help our brain. So if we've been feeling kind of dull, changing things up makes a huge difference, and so does all the good nutrition. And people are dying for it right now. I'm talking to a lot of different people. They need support. So wouldn't this be great to be on, you know, we're going to have it on the Health and Wealth page, so they can jump on there, they can get tips on there, recipes, anything they want to do. I think I'm saying something about doing the Ice Body Challenge. I think that would be great. Yeah, I mean, you've done it. So we can also invite them to join that. So this is just another good way to create awareness for Isogenics, help our friends who might need some support, and play hard. Get two people on there. It's not that hard to get 2, right? But you can go for 2, and go for more if you want. But for those of us who are like, I don't know, go for 2. You know, just at least find those 2 people. And one other thing I wanted to share, my friend Stephanie has been doing a yoga class, and I think this Thursday might be the last one she'll do in the morning. But if you guys want to go do it, let me know, and I will send you a link. But she's doing a challenge. She bought like $700 worth of stuff for her and her boyfriend, and they're just taking it on. I'm like, okay, I'm with you. Let's go for it, you know. So what can you challenge yourself in?
So my question, I'm sorry. So my question is, when does it start? And also, are you managing it in the We Believe in Freedom business, or are you setting up another?
Yes.
Good question. Go ahead, Lynn.
We're starting the 26th of May, so right after Labor Day, and going till June 5th. Okay. And we will be posting, and all of you can participate too, because we're all one big family. You know, post stories in there, post recipes, things like that are going to entice people to, you know, want to participate. And also what I've discovered is that if I'm posting something on there, all my people, they get a little heads up, like, oh, I'm getting messages from people like, oh, what are you doing? Or, you know, things like that. They're noticing that I'm posting something. So every time you post something in that health and wellness page, your people that you've added in there are going to be paying attention too. So I encourage you to use that as a prospecting tool for people you connect with, you meet, put them into that site, and let's all be diligent about adding nuggets in there that people can grow from.
And if you really want the people that you've added to that group to notice what's going on, tag them in the announcement about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. And then also, like my friend Stephanie, we're going to be doing some calls. We're going to do just some check-in calls together to actually have talking time. Maybe we'll even do Zoom, so we have FaceTime to see each other. So you can do that with them as well, because we need that connection. As you know, that's what everyone's sharing right now, right? At least we're getting Zoom connection. It's better than no connection.
And maybe we'll even do some lives from the We Believe in Health and Wealth group once a
Yeah.
day, like it would be fun to go, hey, this is my shake today. Yum, and everybody's going to do their own version of the 11-day for themselves. It's just even if it's as simple as pick a product you haven't ever used before and use it for 11 days. That's, one of the things that I've talked about. If you're not even looking for like a weight loss or something. Well, this is going to be so exciting, and we're going to start posting tomorrow. So start looking for the announcements. I know Lynn is working on a flyer, so she'll be posting that in the next few days. And now I'd love to have Amy share about some business opportunities with Isogenics. Amy, why don't you share what the latest gift that Isogenics is giving us?
Yes. Okay, so as you all know, that the Crystal Director reset was completed just last Sunday. So I know in the interest of time, I would have loved to ask people what their breakthroughs or notices are, during that time, or if you even, wanted to participate. But anyways, the exciting part is July 12th. So that's the date you want to remember for the Crystal Executive Reset. So how many of you are interested in doing the Crystal Reset?
I'm
Yes?
going to say yes.
Okay. I know some of us have hit the executive and probably like, sometimes I say, oh, I've done it already. I shouldn't do it. But hey, no, there's like, yeah, exactly. There are a lot of rewards for just doing it again, or at least, completing it. So some of them, of course, would be monetary, right? Like you have your $1,000 Crystal Executive bonus. So the 2K plus, yes.
About $2,000 you can make.
Yes. Okay, and that is for the $1,000 Crystal Executive Reset, and then you'll probably hit the 10 cycle bonus, which is another $1,000. And of course, for each consultant that you create, if you haven't created it yet, but that's another $100 for each consultant. So that's another $1,000. So that's $3,000. Not to mention the executive lifestyle rewards, which is up to $10,000 for the year. So there's a lot. And then of course there's the product introductory bonus. There's also the cycles, right? So there's a lot going on. So if you are interested in participating, at least also the accountability and support of the members, just reach out to your, to your mentors and leaders, and we can all support each other. So we have 8 weeks and it will be exciting, and yeah, so we're rooting for you.
And what if we all, on this call right here, just us, did a daisy chain power-like link with each other? And we did power hours, because I know that, Teresa, you did a power hour, and I'm sorry, I mean, I cut you off for a second.
No,
but ask
is great.
Teresa about her power hour, because
Yeah.
that's the stuff that gives us that, in action time frame, and it's just an hour. It doesn't even have to be the whole hour, right? So Teresa, just share, what was that like to do that today? You did that right before you came on the call, didn't you?
I did. I got away. The kids are down. I'm up at my grandparents' house. Just sequestered myself away down to Bia, so I would be ready to go, and just went through. I had 20 contacts that I went through and just plowed through it, and sent emails to some, Facebook Messenger, phone calls to a few of them. And of course, I'm looking at the hour because a couple people hadn't reached out to for a while through this quarantine. So there was a little bit of, it's like chit chat and just catching up, which, is all great. I love connecting with people and just, reaching out and just seeing how people are doing. Sometimes it's really good to just, I know Lynn's been great on reminding me always to, just make those connections. It doesn't have to be Isogenics or anything, just connect. But these 20 were specifically Isogenics, and was able to get 3 people to watch the Forever Pack video. And like I didn't have many yeses. I had some no's, and which I love no's. I've come to just love, I don't know. It always gets me. You're like, your heart is racing, but you're like, you know what? It's okay. A lot of people are just not ready. And I mean, I'll just keep going after them till, they absolutely are done, or they sign up. So it was good. And I want to incorporate it more because it forces you to sit down. And for me with little kids, now that, my husband's home more and able to just take them, and I go, okay, it's mommy hour. I got to go do my Isogenics power hour and get it done. So I'm looking forward to having that consistently. But it's really good. You feel, I know I feel accomplished, and, like I've done it. I've shown up, and I will continue to show up, and that's, it's the consistency. So.
And that's the kind of action that you can use with an accountability partner, because sometimes it's even easier to have someone else know, I'm going to be doing my calls now. Even if they're not doing it with you, you can then check in, you can celebrate, your breakthroughs, you can celebrate that you did something for an hour. So use the 11-day challenge that we're going to do to invite your friends to find out more about Isogenics. That's one great tool. Also, we have Isa Bingo again. So we're going to be doing it from now on once a month, but tomorrow night at 5:30, 15 minutes later, 5:30 for our beautiful Isa Bingo hour, we're going to be having fun, having 4 games, giving away prizes, and sharing about some of the products that Isogenics has, so that your people can find out. Maybe they've never tried a bar. Maybe they haven't tried BIA yet. Although, Teresa, I'm sure every single one of your friends has tried BIA. Anyway, you guys have been great. We're 2 minutes past our golden hour, but I really, I feel so honored that I got to lead the call tonight. Such beautiful stories and places that we're all at. So what if we just all took our arms up like this and locked arms with each other between now and the Crystal Executive Bill? That would be a woo-hoo if I ever saw one, and it could send us all to the next level. And if you don't get to the executive, I bet you will have made a difference anyway. So talk to your upline. Let's do a daisy chain thing. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you
Good
on
night,
Bingo
everybody.
tomorrow night,
Bingo, bingo.
Bingo.
5:30 p.m. Pacific. There's a
Invite your
link on
friends.
Facebook. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you.